So, the votes are in, and the first film we'll be talking about is Akira. It's fitting, since my channel has been anime focused, that this segment begins with an influential anime film. Kind of a nice transition, I guess. So, what can I say about Akira? When I rewatched this film for this video, the first thing that really struck me was kind of obvious and has stuck with me since I got done watching it. I'm in constant awe in regard to any movie being made, especially the ones that I feel are really great. Animation also really impresses me just by the fact that the joining of creativity of so many people can result in something so beautiful. With Akira, this was before the digital age, so this was the result of many animators going over painstaking details to create these images. I just love the backgrounds. There's so much minute detail that you know that lots of time, money, and effort went into this. You can feel the passion of the people behind it. Besides the backgrounds, though, I'm amazed by how fluid the movement of the action is, especially for an anime film from 1988. Akira is kind of an important film for anime fans, since though anime had its place in pop culture in the decades before with the likes of Astro Boy and Gatchaman, this film was that one that reached wider audiences and probably really helped Western audiences see animation as a respected art form, not limited to just children's stuff. Part of me thinks that people were indeed blown away by the animation and even the high concept story. However, I also think that the anime boom in the US for the 80s and 90s was kind of based on some shallow surface stuff too. I remember that in rental stores, for those of you who remember those, anime was often in the special interest section. It was still pretty niche well over a decade after Akira came out. Films like it were enjoyed as cult films similar to exploitation flicks. Not only was this due to the mature themes, but content containing stronger language, nudity, and, of course, violence. So some of this may have just been the spectacle when the film first came out that people were so attracted to. I'm not sure, but it has been considered a classic for anime fans, but also for people who just appreciate anime and film in general. From my own experience, I really appreciated the animation and the world building and the themes of the story. I also really liked the soundtrack. So, why is Akira one of my favorite movies? I think this time around, it's because of Tetsuo. There has been some criticism that the plot of the film tries to do too much in a 2-hour runtime, in comparison to the much longer manga which was not quite done upon this film's release. That is true, but I always felt that the main point of the film was made pretty clearly. For me, Akira is really about Tetsuo, framed as a tragedy of a boy born into difficult circumstances and angry at the world. We learn, somewhat late in the film to be honest, about Tetsuo's past and his lack of control. He resents Kaneda for always seeming stronger and defending him. He resents the government's experiments and the psychics who gave him his power, which he didn't want. He resents Akira when he's not like the image of the individual, the Masonic figure that he created in his mind, this person that would give him the answers. When given godlike power, he lashes out like an angry child would. Much like the military, he's not ready for such power. His anger and destructive behavior nearly ends him. Still, he did not ask for the tragedy of his life or the events of the film. They were thrust upon him, and he failed when he was tested. Now, who saves Tetsuo? Well, Akira, of course, does return and give him, and perhaps all of us, the chance to start again. In a way, though, it's Kaneda who is there, even when Tetsuo is literally transforming into a monster. I remember that when I was younger, I didn't really like Kaneda that much. I thought he was just a punk who really didn't care about anyone and was partially the cause of Tetsuo's anguish. However, in his own way, he never gave up on his friend. Though he may have been a delinquent, he was still a product of this dystopian society. Still, he has a sense of himself, a set of codes, and he makes his own choices. In the middle of this plot of epic, world-ending proportions, it all kind of boils down to the rivalry and camaraderie of two angry young men, Kaneda and Tetsuo. I wonder if the title should have been different on that one.